Hey y'all, what's up? It's Joanna Leaves and welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 2 of 12 days of Christmas. For today's video, we're going to be talking about 15 Hoyas I would rebuy if I had to completely restart with 0 Hoyas. So I've seen people do this for like restarting their collection overall and all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen Hoya specific videos, but that's also because I've been watching a lot of Anthurium specific videos recently. So that could be why. But I did sit down and think, with the number of Hoya that I have, if I had to restart, which ones would I keep? What would I want to start over with? You know, all that good stuff. Initially, I was only going to do 10, but I decided that 10 is not enough, so I have to do 15. So for this video, while I own all of these Hoyas, what I'm going to do is just insert a nice photo of them here, because honestly, I just thought it would be a lot of work to kind of move all of them from their current location, etc. When you have as many plants as I have, it can get a little bit hectic, and I have found recently with like moving my plants around a lot, I am causing damage to them because Hoyas will vine into things and I want them to kind of like be at peace, especially because it's been really cold. We've been having like 20-degree days. It's not the worst of what it could be here in New York, but it's getting really hectic. Okay, so before I jump in, I'm gonna say that there's no specific order that these are going in. This is not like there's a number one, most loved, etc. And then also, I will just tell you a little bit about why I would keep the plant or why I would repurchase it if I needed to restart. I also didn't want to include any wish list ones because I feel like I've seen like other videos where they include wish list plants that they don't necessarily own, and that's all fun and games. But I would like to, if I was going to restart, I want to start off with the ones that I know are going to do right by me and grow the way that I like and just hold me down. So with that being said, we're going to start off with the ultimate banger. At this point, when y'all hear me say banger and Hoya, y'all know exactly what that is. And that is my pubicalyx splash, which actually and truly, I don't know how I haven't photographed her. How come she hasn't touched my Instagram? I don't know. This pubicalyx splash right here, y'all cannot tell me that this is not a banger. This plant has been a dream for me since the day I got it. It is always growing, always putting out new leaves. The splash is consistent and stable. I don't have to worry about chopping it back and no, it's gonna be there. The plant just wants to grow. It wants to be alive. It wants to thrive. It wants to do its thing. It wants to do its big one. It wants to be here, y'all. I absolutely love this plant. I adore her. I love how she's grown almost all over the entire circle trellis. Next year, I will literally be putting like little tinsel and stuff like that on her because she's gonna be a wreath next year. Y'all can't tell me she's not gonna show up as a wreath for Christmas. She is sensational. Also, the plant itself was literally $8 when I bought it. You can't beat that with a stick. I would absolutely rebuy it. For the low, this plant is giving you things that plants for the high cannot give you, okay? I love it, love it, love it. And I would want a plant that is going to be a robust grower that also has a visual appeal to it if I was to start over with Hoyas. And I also was thinking about this one between this and like the Carnosa crossed with pubicalyx splash, or is it pubicalyx x Carnosa? I don't know. I would choose the pubicalyx splash straight up. Like I definitely would choose that one over the hybrid. Okay, so the next one I want to choose, this one is really interesting to me because I don't actually normally like cream variegation much, so choosing this plant was really wild. But this one kind of gives watercolor, and it's my Hoya Australis Lisa that you can see here. She has grown so much for me since I got her in April. I think I prefer her to the green form. She is sensational. She is the moment. I absolutely love her. She is very rewarding. She has a peduncle already. She has done all of the things that I want Hoyas to do. She grows. She also looks pleasing. And I feel like if I was to start over with my Hoya collection too, I want to choose Hoyas that are all going to be consistent in terms of like appeal. And I think that a lot of Hoyas, depending on the treatment you give it, the lighting, etc., can look very different. So if you change the location of a Hoya, sometimes they really will look different. Like I'm sure if I gave my Surregalensis more light, it is not going to look the way that it's looking right now. It is in a low light spot, and that's why the leaves are so huge. But I know that if it came down to like my Lisa, I have moved it in different places, and highlight, low light, etc., is always coming out with consistency on the leaves. So you can have like, you kind of get like the consistency of like, I know the aesthetic it's going to bring to a place if I move it. Whereas other Hoyas, you might get a darker leaf, you might get a lighter leaf, etc. And like for me, sometimes that changes the vibe of whether or not it fits in with the group that I pair it with. So that's a plant that I really like. And I think currently that, and there's only one other one that I like, or maybe two other ones that will have any kind of variegation. No, it's the only other one. It's the only one, and another one that has like any kind of cream or white variegation, because I don't typically like that on Hoyas. Okay, the next one I would choose, I was really trying to choose between this plant and then also the quinquenervia. And unfortunately, quinquin got beat out, and I am choosing the Hoya geneive. Here's my specimen here. Now, I chose this plant because I was thinking if I was going to start over, I want a plant that is going to sun stress, right? I want a plant that's going to grow, that's going to look nice when it doesn't sun stress and have like that, aesthetic, but then also sun stress and look very cute. Initially, when I thought sun stressing and plants that look good sun stressed, I immediately thought of the quinquenervia. But then I realized that my quinquin been taking 1,000,005 years to sun stress. My geneive has been significantly farther back from the light that the quinquenervia is getting, and it's sun stressed on the back of the leaves, it's sun stressed on some of the front of the leaves. She's just doing her thing. She's been growing. She's very easygoing. I have never seen the plant be deflated. She's amazing. I really appreciate her. So because of that, that's how come she beat out the quinquenervia, and that's also why I would want her. Also, I think that the quinquenervia leaves that crinkling on it that I like, that makes it unique. I don't know if I restarted, I don't know if I'd want to have that plant over the geneive that gives me like a more uniform look. I'm realizing that there are other plants that would kind of give me like that lack of uniformity, and I don't know if I would want that in the plant that is going to be like the sun stressed one. The next one that I would want is like, there's no way that I could say that I wouldn't get this plant again, and it's my Hoya Noel. I would want one plant that, this is probably on my list here, it is the second slowest growing. Yeah, the second slowest growing. So it would be literally just like a staple. I love the plant. I love what it looks like, sun stressed, not sun stressed. It's so pillowy. I love a pillowy plant. I don't know what I would do if I did not have this plant in my collection. I need that. I gotta have that. I got that kind of vibe. I love this plant. There's really not much else I can say. Like, just, she speaks for herself. I know she doesn't have as many leaves as like the rest of my plants, but she's fantastic. I appreciate all that she does for me. And I would absolutely have to have her if I had to restart my plant collection. This next one, I think that if I was going to restart, I know that a good majority of my collection, if I was to restart, at least 5 of them are probably going to be like those veiny Hoyas, because that is actually my favorite type of Hoya. I'm realizing I had a moment where I over collected, hint hint, I might need to purge some, because I definitely over collected and some of them look very similar. But the one that I would absolutely need is my Hoya Arena AH015. This plant is sensational. Here she is now. She has grown for me significantly recently. I think adding the trellis has really helped like kickstart some of her growth as well, because once she started putting out that vine, she hit the ground running, and she's given me about 4 new leaves in a short period of time. I can't even sit here and really define it. And then also she's putting out a peduncle, which is really exciting. I really love this plant. I can't explain what makes this one really different. It kind of resembles a Jennifer in a way in some instance, but also it's got a little bit larger leaf. I also appreciate that it can sun stress, but then it also doesn't have to. And then it feels like it can fit into a multitude of spaces and then succeed. Also, I love any plant that like blooms pretty quickly, relatively quickly, because I've had this plant for less than a year and it's already has a peduncle, and the peduncle is in fact budding up, which is really, really exciting. Okay, speaking of peduncles, the next 2 are plants that I would have to have, because not only do I like their blooms, but I like the smell of their blooms, and they're very fast growers, and I feel like I would need at least 2 or 3 little small leaf Hoyas, even though they're not necessarily my favorite all the time. Like, I don't think I gravitate only towards small leaf Hoyas, but these 2 specifically must have. The first one is the Lacunosa Mint. This is going to scratch the itch of having any like full-on silver in my collection of Hoyas, because it's all silvery. And then 2, they grow incredibly quickly and they bloom. Like, the minute you get your first peduncle and it blooms, the plant will literally never stop blooming. I think that this plant is almost always in bloom. I can almost always go over there and show someone a bloom or a budded up peduncle or one that's like about to open. Even right now, I have some buds that are literally about to open. I love the plant. The Lacunosa mint. I also love the smell of the flowers too. It smells really florally, kind of like roses, which is really interesting, but I love that smell that it emits. The next one is the hookeana. I have both the green hookeana and then the variegated one, or the inner variegated. For me, I would choose the green form one, specifically because I've had longer experience with it and it grows really well. It takes bad treatment well as well and continues to bloom. And additionally, I think that the inner variegated one obviously grows a little bit slower than the not variegated one, but you could swap them out, right? In my mind, you probably could swap them out, but I would definitely go for the green form just because I have an attachment to her. I like how she looks. And she is a prolific bloomer as well. Right now, I think she has literally 4 blooms on her. She is the moment. And then her blooms, they alternate between smelling, like, to me, they either smell like butterscotch, but then also at some moments it smells like buttered popcorn. But it never smells bad. So y'all that think they smell bad, I don't know that. I don't know that experience. So that's definitely a plant that I would absolutely rebuy. If I needed to redo the Hoya vibe, I'm definitely gonna get a hookeana. One, because I can imagine when they get really long, oh my gosh, and fully fill out, sensational. And then the blooming, it's exciting because there's always something going on it. The next one, I mentioned it already, but I didn't mention it was gonna be on this list, and that is my Variegated. So I thought of large leaf Hoyas when I was really going through and being like, okay, wouldn't you want one that has a large leaf? I would, and I would want one that is going to be dark green. So I have a couple of large leaf Hoyas on here, but I wanted one that was specifically just going to be like a large green paddleboard. And I thought of my Variegated because if you look at it here, it is literally just dark green filling out. Like the base where all of these new leaves have come in is so full. I literally live for an aesthetic like that. It's so beautiful, sensational. It is the moment. So I would absolutely need to get me another one of those. Staying on the topic of large leaf Hoyas, I was debating between the Sarawak and then my Sulawesi GPS. I think it's 8867. I debated between the two. Now, y'all know that I want a UPT textured veins. Y'all know I love a Sarawak. I love a latifolia. I love a large leaf Hoya. But then I said, you know what? The Sulawesi GPS, yada yada, that one has like the perfect in between because it kind of like would scratch the itch of me really wanting a UPT textured veins, but then also covers like the large circular kind of leaf Hoya that I would want. And when I was choosing between the two, neither one of them grow quickly, not for me at least, but they don't die. They don't require a ton, and maybe that's what it is that I'm not giving them a ton, but neither one of them grow quickly. So I thought it would just make sense to choose the one that would cover more aesthetic or like visual interest for me. And I feel like the Sarawak does give me a little something, I like to see it, but I can stare at the Sulawesi for a lot longer, and that like venation that it has and sensational. Absolutely love it. So next up, and we're at number 10. I realize I haven't even been saying, I've just been talking about the plants. The next one that I would really think that I must have is a sunrise. So this one covers a couple of bases for me. I was deciding between I wanted a plant that's going to give me a nice bushy full trellis. So it was between this one and then the verticillata black margin. I ended up choosing this one because I feel like, one, you can get the best of both worlds with this plant, where I could have a sun-stressed plant, I could put in a lower light spot and it not get sun-stressed. And then also, I wanted one that was going to also bloom quickly. When it comes to any fast-growing Hoya, if you're going to be fast-growing, then I also want you to give me a peduncle. Do something with that fast growth. What you maturing fast for if you're not going to do nothing with it? So I chose my sunrise because my sunrise has bloomed for me. It's already budding up again. It's doing its big one. And I think that the plant has more visual interest for me compared to a verticillata black margin. I'm not gonna lie though, it is gonna take a lot for me to get rid of my verticillata black margin. Like I would have to see that it is absolutely covered in thrips or something like that for me to be like, I'm gonna get rid of it and then start and get another one. So it doesn't mean that I don't love that plant. That's definitely one that's like top of mind. Like if I had to say my top 20 Hoyas, top 25, I think I would have to put that in there. But anywho, that's not the point. I would definitely want the sunrise because I would want a plant that quickly takes over a trellis, and not the circle trellis like the U trellis. I want one that's like nice and full and high. I love the idea of that. And I think if I got one of like the what is it, instead of like the short one that I have that's like 1 foot, if I got like a 2 foot, 3 foot trellis, that could be an absolute banger. And I can imagine it being like sun stressed at the top, green in places as well. Just fantastic vibe, honestly, truly. The next one that I would want, I love veiny Hoyas, and a lot of finlaysonii cover that basis. I absolutely would want to have at least one finlaysonii type in my collection. I was trying to decide between the 3 that I have right now, and I ended up choosing my finlaysonii angel because I really like the newest leaf that it came out with, but I also really like its original leaves. So I think in any way that it grows, I'm gonna appreciate it. Whereas when I looked at my UT073, which is also a finlaysonii, is it finlaysonii or finlaysonii? Be easy on me. But when I looked at that one, I also was kind of like, okay, wait, but you literally almost got rid of this plant because you weren't really feeling the leaves until it gave you a bigger one, which means there's potential for the plant to lose my interest until it randomly gives me a leaf that like brings me in. Whereas the finlaysonii angel, I feel like all of the leaves on it give me something that I could feel. So this is definitely one that I would absolutely keep. This next one, I feel like literally anyone who is into Hoyas probably might agree, but an obovata. I feel like I would need an obovata. And I'm going to make this one the only broad category. I lied. I was going to say it's broad, but I would want an obovata or like the regular one, or an obovata that has like higher amounts of splash. I would not want the inner variegated one. I'm having the worst time with that plant. Quite literally, I am having a hard time with it. I am actually even like considering downsizing it, but we'll see. I love the obovata. I love that if you pull it in a little bit darker light, it gets just a little bit darker green. The splash appears a little bit more. It's just sensational. The peduncle already came through for the plant, so shout out to that. I'm hoping that I will be able to get it to bloom. I might need to actually switch over to like a flowering fertilizer for it. The next one I would want is the Hoya Surprise. So that's the Dakier crossed with the chicken farm. That's a banger. Okay, I like the Dakier. I have a Dakier right now. It still hasn't grown for me. It's rooting, but no new leaf. And then I have a chicken farm, sensational plant, fantastic. I actually did weigh out whether or not I would want the chicken farm or the Surprise, but I just love the way that the Surprise looks. And then it started sun stressing, and that's what let me know absolutely yes. I like this plant. Even before that, I think it just has such an interesting shape because it takes on a little bit of the Dakier. And then I love the veination. I love the splashing it gets from the chicken farm. It's just such a fantastic, cool plant. And it has grown more than the chicken farm for me. So I would definitely want one like that. And I would want one that brings something a little bit unique. Like this doesn't look like any of the other plants that I have. Unless you're not a plant person, then you're gonna be like, baby, it absolutely does look the same. But it really doesn't. It looks very different and I really like it. The next one I wanted something that was gonna bring together, like round off the fact that I would have like a pubicalyx splash and then a dark splashy obovata. So I chose the Hoya Lchow. I adore that plant. Again, shout out to Mariah. It's a great plant. So this plant for me has only put out 2 new leaves and they're not even fully hardened off, probably from the image you're seeing. However, the dark leaves with like the bright splashing and then the shape, it kind of has like a verticillata-esque shape. Baby, it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I adore this plant. So because of that, I absolutely need to have one of those. And then the final plant that I would have, because I did mention that I wanted to have another plant that has like a little cream variegation, and it's this one. I didn't think I was gonna love one more than the other, But I absolutely have been loving growing this Hoya Bella outer variegated. All three of the Bellas grow really quickly. So for me, I knew I wasn't gonna throw all three of them in there, but definitely the outer variegated one, because again, I'm not a major fan of like cream or like light plants per se. So I love that the outer variegated one has such dark green on the inside. It grows so quickly. It blooms so quickly. I do have a peduncle that's budding up on this one. It hasn't bloomed for me yet, but again, remember, I literally think I started the roots over on it. Hasn't been that long. I've only had it for maybe 2 months now, 3 months now. Um, if it's even been 3 months, and it has grown significantly. It's recently transitioned into ambient. It's doing well, doing swell. So that's the last one that I would definitely have again if I had to restart my collection. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video with my random musings over which plants I would choose if I was to restart my collection. I hope you're loving the reindeer ears. It's giving me everything. It's giving me something that I could feel, you know? And with that said, I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 3 of 12 Days of Christmas. Bye.